Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous_. Alright, we're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous_. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, we got an interesting topic to talk about today, and I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because I did a couple videos on King Liljay and him being rearrested while on parole for another weapon charge. And all the time I see guys saying, oh, King Liljay is stupid for still being in Chicago. Oh, King Liljay is stupid for having a weapon, being around a weapon. How can he go back to jail after doing 7 years? He just don't learn his lesson. X, Y, and Z. Here's what I want to address, man. Because, and I'm gonna just speak strictly from my personal opinion. You guys could jump in the comments and let me know how y'all feel as well. You know, that's what we're here for, adult conversation. Here's what I'm gonna tell you, right? First of all, I know he was still on parole, if I'm not mistaken. And if you've never been incarcerated and you don't know how parole works, you don't really get a choice as to where you go when you off parole. A lot of times they tell you, you could actually ask, but it's up to their discretion to let you, depending on your parole officer, to let you stay wherever you want to stay. I remember a time where I told them I had a full-blown house and they still try to put me in a shelter when I came home. It's crazy. Like I said, it's up to their discretion. Sometimes they cool, they lenient. Sometimes they not with it. They could be what they want to be, right? So I said all that to say this. A lot of people asking why King Liljay is still in Chicago. Well, on parole, maybe he had to parole to a place in Chicago. And this is what they do. The problem is they don't want you fleeing from whatever case that you have. So they're not gonna say, oh yeah, let him go to Florida, let him go to Texas, let him go to New York. They're not gonna do that. So they're gonna put you in Chicago, because you also gotta remember too, sometimes your parole officer has to check up on you. You have curfew. You have to report back certain days depending on how your level is. Some people have to report every 2 weeks. Some people have to report every week. Some people have to report a couple of months. It varies. All right. So being on parole is kind of stagnant. You can't go a lot of places. You have to ask for permission to go places. You just don't have the freedom to do what you do. Yes, you're not in jail, but you're still kind of like shackled in a way, because you have to ask for permission to do the slightest things. And your curfew could be anywhere from 6, 7 to 9 o'clock at night. So you wake up, you can only be out, I believe, from like 7 in the morning until 9 at night. If you're out past 9, it's over. They can send you right back to jail for violating curfew. All right. So a lot of people don't get that. That's a stipulation of parole. A lot of people don't understand that they still got you by the balls sometimes when you on parole. All right. Just because you out don't mean nothing. So that could be another reason why he actually is in Chicago. So don't just sit there and, count him out saying he's foolish for being in Chicago. I'm sure that if King Liljay wanted to be in California, could be in California or Texas or New York or wherever he want to be aside from Chicago, he would be there. But the problem is he just can't. They'll consider him a flight risk. If he leave the state, especially without asking, guess what happens? They'll tell him, oh, you remanded, go back to jail. Simple. That easy. And a new case at that, oh man, you're done. So I said all that to pretty much say, man, instead of just saying somebody's this and that and pointing the finger, try to understand their situation. Now when it comes to the weapons as well, let's be real, man. We know the circumstance he's in. We know the type of person King Liljay is. We know that he's a big op. He one of those. You know, a lot of people want his head, and at the end of the day, a lot of people have that mentality where they rather get caught with it than without it. It's a crazy mentality to have, but what do you rather? You rather get caught without it and be 6 feet under, or get caught with it and could defend yourself and or might go to jail, but guess what? You still have your life. Sounds crazy, I understand it, but this is the things you go through when you're involved in that lifestyle. Then a lot of people don't understand that being on parole as well, and you're a felon, you know, you don't necessarily have to have the weapon on you. All right? Being a felon means that you can't be around a weapon at all. At all. I don't care if it's in the car. I don't care if your friend got it on him. He's legal to carry. You're not supposed to be around that weapon at all. You know, so unfortunately it is a messed up situation. And I think that sometimes, man, they got to change a lot of these laws and these rules, and, you know, because a lot of them are outdated. You know, they got a lot of these 1930, 40, and 50 rules and restrictions in place, but we evolve as humans, as an economy, as a culture, as humans, you know, as the law system. Everything evolves. So why hasn't these rules, restrictions, and laws, you know, evolved either? So I say all that because we got to remember who your boy King Liljay is. I'm pretty sure CPD, they did their homework. They know who he is. They know what he's involved in. They know he's a rapper. His parole officer know the type of person he is. I'm pretty sure they looked him up. So why have somebody like that back in a dangerous environment that's going to land him right back in jail if it's not purposely being done? You know, I think a lot of this is purposely done. They put you back in the trenches. They put you back in the neighborhood where they know you're a target, where you have nothing but chances to get in trouble. Like, think about it. Do you really think, because everybody's sitting there blaming King Liljay, you know me, I always like to look at both sides, man. You know, I always like to think out the box and think from everybody's point of view. So let's be real. Do you really think King Liljay, after doing 7 years, right? 7 years, you gotta say that properly. 7 years. And I don't, like I said, some of y'all may or may have not been incarcerated before. However, let me tell y'all, them days in there is like dog years. You know how like one of our days is like a million of their days, whatever the case may be. Yo, when you inside there, one day feel like 2 or 3 days. A week feels like 2 weeks. It drags. Now, when you get in programming and, you know, I guess you get used to it. It sounds crazy, but when you get used to it, it kind of, you know, it goes by when you get yourself in a rhythm. But like I said, let's be real. Who in their right mind wants to carry a weapon on them while they're on parole after doing 7 years? You see what I'm saying? He didn't. It's not that he wanted to carry it. It's not that he wanted to be a tough guy or whatever. It's something he had to do based on his situation. And we know, you know, the internet gonna be the internet, man. They're going, or everybody gonna have an opinion. Some people just gonna comment just to say something, you know, negative, and it's cool. But for the ones that's actually listening and, you know, want to hear some, understand, man, sometimes it's just your circumstance. Before you write these guys off as stupid and this and that and X, Y, Z, really try to understand their situation. It's some people, and a lot of these artists too, I don't agree with a lot of the things they do or sometimes say, but I understand. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. You may not agree, but you understand. So that's why some people agree to disagree. It's no different than that. When you agree with someone, You agree to disagree. It's like, I understand what you're saying. I just don't agree with what you're saying. I understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. I just don't agree with it. You know, and that's just that, man. So y'all jump in the comments. I want to hear y'all opinion on the whole King Liljay situation. I was been supposed to do a video like this, but I haven't really found the time. So I actually was watching a video on FBG Young and True Teller, and True Teller asked him about like King Liljay and the situation. I think his response was, you know, pretty cordial. He's like, yo, he got locked up. You know, I don't know if they expected him to really say something off the wall. FBG Young don't really normally say anything off the wall in the interviews, you know, keep it pretty much chill, militant. So that's what made me really think about it, and I remember to do this video. So y'all jump in the comments. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about King Liljay and his situation. Do y'all think he's foolish for having a weapon? Or, you know, do you understand the situation? Or maybe he just crashed out? Let me know, man. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.